When Michael bought his dream home in a quiet suburban neighborhood, he believed he had found peace at last. The yard was spacious, the house freshly renovated, and the street seemed friendly enough. But it didn't take long for him to notice the HOA board's reputation for strict rules and aggressive enforcement. At first, the letters were minor: complaints about his grass being too tall, or a warning about leaving his trash bin out an extra day. He brushed them off, thinking it was just part of living in an HOA community. But soon, the letters took a darker turn. Within months, the HOA began issuing fines that made no sense. Michael was accused of having an unapproved mailbox and illegal window blinds, even though both were standard for the neighborhood. The fines stacked up quickly, hundreds of dollars turning into thousands. When he tried to appeal, the board dismissed him coldly, insisting he had no choice but to pay. Then came the final letter, a foreclosure warning. The HOA claimed he owed so much in fines that they were prepared to seize his home. Shocked and furious, Michael realized this was no longer about rules. This was a power play. Instead of backing down, Michael hired an attorney and began digging into the HOA's finances. What he discovered was jaw-dropping. The board had been inflating fines, misusing funds, and targeting homeowners who questioned their authority. His foreclosure notice wasn't just unfair, it was illegal. Armed with evidence, Michael filed a lawsuit against the HOA for fraud, harassment, and breach of contract. Neighbors who had suffered in silence started coming forward, sharing their own stories of abuse. What started as a personal battle was quickly turning into a full-blown case that threatened to expose the entire HOA. The HOA believed Michael would fold under pressure, but in court, their arrogance unraveled. Documents revealed a pattern of intimidation and reckless spending by board members. The judge listened carefully as Michael's lawyer laid out the evidence: forged invoices, falsified meeting notes, and fines issued without any legal basis. Board members stammered and contradicted themselves, clearly unprepared for real scrutiny. For the first time, the HOA's iron grip on the community began to crack. Homeowners packed the courtroom, watching as years of abuse were finally dragged into the light. The verdict was only a matter of time. When the judge finally delivered the ruling, the HOA board sat in stunned silence. Michael not only kept his home, but the HOA was ordered to pay him millions in damages for harassment and unlawful foreclosure attempts. The judgment nearly bankrupted the association, forcing several board members to resign in disgrace. Neighbors who once lived in fear now celebrated the victory, grateful someone had finally stood up to the bullies who had controlled their lives for so long. Michael had turned the tables completely, proving that even a single homeowner could defeat an entire corrupt system. With the corrupt board gone and the HOA restructured, the neighborhood transformed. Rules were relaxed, transparency became mandatory, and homeowners were given real power in decisions. Michael invested part of his settlement back into his property, restoring the dream home he almost lost. The story of his fight spread online and in local news, inspiring others across the country to challenge abusive HOAs. What started as an attempt to steal his home ended with justice, and a message heard far beyond his street. Michael had not only saved his house, he had changed the entire community forever.